They are accredited by the Motion Picture Association of America and certified on Rotten Tomatoes, and they are part of Collider Movie Talk. Subscribe to youtube.com/Schmoes. No, Mark and Christian are here once again.
You keep adding things to your resume.
Well, when we do, Frank apparently announces it like he's Oprah, so that's good.
Yeah.
Movie time!
Movie Talk!
Collider Movie Talk!
Can I say how much I love coming in here every week and having Sammy baby me? Because Christian just sits on his seat on his own. He's got the mic, and then Sammy brings me in. She sets me up in the chair like I'm a kid sitting at Applebee's for the very first time. She aims the mic in my face. Like, I'm not allowed to touch anything in this studio.
It's like us going to Wood Ranch.
It's embarrassing.
Do you want a little sippy cup of apple juice?
I want apple juice! Movie!
He just pooped his pants.
And chicken nuggets, all right. Good to see you again, fellas. Got a couple big stars with some movies opening up this weekend with Bradley Cooper and Sandra Bullock. Be going head-to-head with their flicks. Bradley Cooper, it's a movie called Burnt. He is, a chef who destroyed his career with drugs and being a diva like all chefs.
Did he do this movie before American Sniper?
Ooh, that's a good question.
And then it was like American Sniper came out and it was like, oh my God, I made that.
I don't think so because it's directed by John Wells, who ER fame, and it's got Sienna Miller, who he just did American Sniper with.
There's no fake babies in this one, though. They don't have a fake baby together.
Fake baby back ribs.
Right.
They're there.
Yes. And the reason why, because he's also been doing a lot of press for it. Like a lot of times when that happens, what you were saying, Heidi, you don't even see him on the press tour. They're like, I'm out of here. I enjoy this movie. I know that it doesn't have a high score.
Do you watch the cooking channel? Do you like cooking shows?
He Instagrams his dinner. It's embarrassing.
He does. You cook.
I do.
But your wife cooks. All we know is that there's a
Stop
picture.
yelling at me.
There's a picture. I'm sick of this. There's a picture on his Instagram feed, and it's like steak and potatoes and like pasta, whatever the hell you eat. But all it is a picture, and you take credit for it. But I know you.
Yeah,
I know your
you
wife
too.
is the one that made it.
No way. I barbecue like a champ. Get out of my face.
Do you put the cooking instructions does it along with the recipe?
Look, my wife is the one who cooks at home, but when I'm barbecuing
on the road, you get a hot plate.
Yes, I take a barbecue, put it in my car. It's really safe. I put roll all the windows up. It's great.
See, the food in this movie looks amazing. Me personally, cooking is like taking lean cuisine, and then I took an extra slice of cheese and I put that on top. A little bit of Frank's hot sauce.
You made it your own.
Yeah. Don't start getting too. Puffing out your chest here, buddy, because once he had his girlfriend now, and now he's like, he got pots. He doesn't have pot and pan ever. There's pot and pans. There's like cooked onions and stuff. I don't know what I smelled the other day when I walked in there. But I was like, we're trying it. We'll keep trying.
That's what happens when the girl moves in. Yeah.
The thing
this is one of those movies that makes you want to be a better chef.
Yeah.
But I wouldn't actually eat any of the food, but it just looks so gorgeous. It's what they call food porn.
Yes, food porn.
It was. It did. And I said this in the review too. It is a sexy movie. It really is. As far as like the relationships, and you got the bad boy chef, but you also, like Mark was saying, with the food, the way it's prepared, and I really enjoy the movie. And I know that some people said it's a little, like you said, it's a little predictable, and it is.
Is there a sex scene with food?
Like Hot Shots?
Like American Pie? Does he actually?
No, I mean what was the movie?
9.5 Weeks.
Yeah, 9.5 weeks, where they are in the walk-in, and all of a sudden he pulls out a cucumber.
I think 9.5 Weeks pretty much retired that scene.
And she slices it with her vagina.
Ooh,
wow, one step over.
It's like that movie Teeth.
Yeah.
Check out Teeth if you haven't seen it. Yes, this one, I think the story's predictable, but Bradley Cooper and Sienna Miller are fantastic. And Daniel Bruhl is also in a small role here, really shines. He's a German actor who is all over the place. You'll love him when you see him.
I think that it's definitely a cable watch for sure.
Yeah, 35% on Rotten Tomatoes.
I know, I get it.
Everybody liked it. No. I have no desire to see this because it is a cooking show. I'm not really into cooking shows.
It does remind me of this is what you would be like as a chef, though.
Really?
Yeah.
Well, now I gotta see.
I'm telling you, I do think
we want you to see Burnt because we want you to look in the mirror for 2 hours.
Really?
Go watch it.
Now I have to see it.
Yeah.
All right. The other movie was Sandra Bullock, Billy Bob Thornton, and Anthony Mackie. Our brand is Crisis. She's an American woman, well-versed in political campaigns, sent to war-torn lands of South America to help install a new leader, but is threatened to be thwarted by a long-term rival. So
this is my kind of movie.
This got 43% on Rotten Tomatoes.
Yeah, it reminds me of like John Travolta should have been in this. Like Primary Colors, like that type of thing. It was
Travolta 15 years ago.
That's what I'm saying.
It was like different.
No, it was like a 90s. It was like a 90s political movie, and I love Sandra Bullock. I just don't know if. I didn't love the movie. I thought it was
wow. I think
loved
Sandra.
it?
I think Sandra
She's good.
Bullock
She's good in the movie, but
is
it's just-
as good as she's ever been in this movie. I think the performance that she gives is amazing. The movie itself, it's like it's
falls
good.
apart.
It's watchable. The movie, it's like a nice double, and it tries to leg out a triple, and it gets thrown out at third base. Having said that, it's an enjoyable watch, and I could definitely go like fresh on Rotten Tomatoes. So that score that you mentioned, Frank, is a little low to me.
It'll go a little lower because I'm going to add my score.
Did she show her butt in the movie?
Well, we don't know.
I was looking.
Does she say that she does? Because there's a butt shot. I just thought maybe it was a stunt double.
I know what you're talking
Stunt
about.
double.
That ain't her tuchus.
It's not.
No. She's got a great one, though.
Yeah.
But
From
the
what I've
tuchus
heard.
was not good. The
It was
stunt-
nice. Yeah, for sure.
Okay.
But it was younger.
No, it's not that.
butt was younger.
It's not that. It's that I'm watching it, and the way they frame it, it's like, why would they frame this? If she wanted to show her behind, they would do it differently. The way they shoot it, it's like stock footage of two buns, and you're like,
It was Johnny Dangerously. Remember Johnny Dangerously with Michael Keaton? It was like that type of thing.
Yeah.
Didn't Bradley Cooper and Sandra Bullock do a movie together, All About Steve or something like that?
Yeah.
Oh, my God.
They
That
don't
was
want
like
us
that
to
was,
talk
that
about
was
that
a
up.
huge
We actually
flop.
on our channel we did we're doing our top 5 Bradley or our best and worst of Bradley Cooper, which we do every week, and my worst is All About Steve because that was one of the worst theater experiences, one of the worst experiences of my life in general.
It's bad. Sandra
Even
Bullock
lower
won.
than Aloha?
Oh
Yeah.
yeah. All About Steve is embarrassing for everybody. She won the Razzie for that. And she was the same year she accepted the Razzie.
And then won the Oscar the next year for Gravity, or the
next
same
day.
year? The next
no, not
day.
for Gravity. For what was it?
Didn't she win for
for,
Gravity?
for the Blind Side.
Wasn't it the
Blind
Blind
Side,
Side?
yes.
Wow.
Okay, those are opening up this week in theaters. Not much to choose from because they're both below 50% when it comes to Rotten Tomatoes. And then in theaters next week, looking forward to seeing Bryan Cranston doing something again in this movie, Trumbo. In 1947, Dalton Trumbo was Hollywood's top screenwriter until he and other artists were jailed and blacklisted for their political beliefs.
Sounds good.
Diane Lane, Bryan Cranston, Elle Fanning, and gets 12% on Rotten Tomatoes.
Isn't it 12? Okay.
12. People
Trumbo
hate
is?
this.
It'll be a little.
Yes.
It'll be a little higher once I submit my score for Rotten Tomatoes because I enjoyed Trumbo. It's not a great movie. It's not like that Oscar. This thing's going to win 10 awards, but it's really, really good. It's an interesting story. It's something that I wasn't aware of before, and the way that Cranston plays Dalton Trumbo, he has this voice, this accent that he does. He doesn't have the Walter White growl in this one. It's more of a whimsical kind of impression he's doing, but he knocks it out of the park. Diane Lane's great, and Louis C.K. is in a big role in this movie as well, and he gets to show a different side you haven't seen of him before.
My Rotten Tomatoes is 83%.
Okay,
I
so
must have been misinformed.
What is 83 plus 12?
Do the math, Heidi. Do
Get
the
back
math.
in the kitchen, Frank.
Do the
That's
math.
95%.
Yeah,
It'd be
because
I'm saying they got
95.
it backwards.
I mean, how
maybe
can you
when
possibly get it backwards like that?
I
And
just
they got
wanted,
it
because I
backwards.
was, that would have shocked me. Maybe it is. We'll find out who.
I think it's
which-
the comedy.
Well, if you're
Yes,
looking it
they're
up right now, mine has like been retyped up. Someone,
okay.
someone screwed up.
Someone's good. Okay, well, 80. Yeah, I think it deserves the 83%. I really enjoyed it. I thought that Bryan Cranston was great. It certainly wasn't just a movie that needed to rely on his shoulders, which I thought maybe it was going to be. But Louis C.K. was really good in the film. It was a story.
Is it a true story?
Yes.
It is
Yeah,
a
it was
true
a story I wasn't familiar with, and what I had always heard, growing up as a kid, like, yeah, they got those communists, yeah.
Right.
And
You're
then
like,
when
what's
you
that
hear it,
mean?
you're like, well, wait a minute, there's a totally another side of this story. The way, and the guy who played John Wayne in this movie was great.
The guy played John Wayne, and they also have a guy playing Kirk Douglas, and like you'd think it would get like character-y after a while,
Right.
but no, you actually believe it's Kirk Douglas and John Wayne on screen.
Absolutely, you do. And I don't know. I went in there hearing some people going, it wasn't as great as I wanted it to be. And it wasn't, I was hoping it was going to be a Bryan Cranston, like, this is the one he's going to win. Don't worry about Walter White anymore. He's Trumbo now. He's going to win the Oscar. It's not particularly that kind of role, but it's certainly a movie that you'll learn more about the story. It'll make you go, huh. It was a good movie.
Movies that make you go, I think he could definitely be nominated for Best Actor for this. I don't think the movie's going to get nominated, but I think Bryan Cranston really shines.
You think he's going to get nominated?
I think he could,
Well,
Christian.
all
I
right.
think Leo DiCaprio's winning the award for The Revenant. I haven't seen the movie yet, but I know he's winning.
Just for the trailer
You can tell
alone.
Yeah.
when you let your lips get that dry and crusty for a role,
Right.
Yeah.
you're getting an Oscar.
When you're that beautiful and you
Or
let your
other
lips go
things.
that bad.
No, they were saying that he actually ate like raw buffalo liver during the filming and slept in an animal carcass. And
Yeah,
he
it's
gets
Bryan Cranston and Trumbo?
Yes, I know. He is amazing. I've always loved that guy. So Trumbo obviously is a lot better than 12%. They're saying, what, 95?
83% tomato meter.
As long as
and
you
then-
get our subscriber numbers right,
Yes,
that's all we really
right.
care
And
about.
Exactly.
It says 96% of audiences want to see it.
And that's opening in theaters next week, so you have to wait on that. Also opening theaters next week, and who knows if it's 97%.
Could be 3%.
It could be 3%. Spotlight. The true story of how the Boston Globe uncovered the massive scandal of child molestation and cover-up within the local Catholic archdiocese, shaking the entire Catholic Church to its core, starring Rachel McAdams, Mark Ruffalo, and Michael Keaton.
I'm in.
That's why when I see 97% on that story, I think that they got that one right.
I don't
right?
even want to check because it deserves 97%. This is one of my favorite movies of the year. I just saw it.
This is the big winner?
I just saw it yesterday, and Mark had already seen it and told me that it's really good. You got to check it out. I finally saw it. It blew me away, man. It is one of those movies that, just similar to what I was saying with Trumbo, it's a story that you were familiar with, obviously, and you just were getting more of these details. And just the way that every performance knocks it out of the park. You never lose interest at all. It's never repetitive. It's just it's a story, and you're just emotionally attached to everyone. I think it's going to be an Oscar darling for sure.
I love watching famous people do Boston accents well. It is not an easy one to pull off. That's why The Departed's a fun movie to watch, because at least they're trying. Same thing here. Michael Keaton watching
Departed.
him.
The Departed.
The Departed.
Yeah.
Watching Michael Keaton pack the cat. He really does a great job with the accent, and then the performance of him and Rachel McAdams and Mark Ruffalo. Liev Schreiber, also Ray Donovan,
he was great,
in a
man.
very different kind of
Yeah.
role where he's a lot more reserved than he would be that you would expect him, because he's this action guy. He's tough, but he just doesn't show any of that in this movie. It's really an engaging watch. I didn't love it quite as much as Christian did, but the story it tells, it's so good. You feel icky when you're walking out of the theater.
I think it's both. I think it's a mixture of both. You definitely feel like for the subject matter in general, but you
I had
also
to shower.
But you also
Yeah.
feel. But when you see what these people did, because it was
cover-ups
It was
and the-
it was the Spotlight and the division of the paper. Spotlight were the ones who were assigned to find out. Liev Schreiber's character is a guy. He's the new editor of the Globe, and he comes in and he's like, I want to go back and open this story. Why was it kind of covered up? Let's go after the church, basically, and find out what's happening. And it's this process of what happened, how they did it, and the investigation and the reporting
That sounds
behind
so
it.
good.
It really, and when you watch it, you're like Mark said, you do, because of everything happening. You know what happened in the church. Yeah, you feel icky, but then it's also you feel good that these people were able to expose it, and that they saved so many other kids from possibly going in this direction, you know. So
Yeah, I definitely want to see this too,
Yeah.
because the topic, the subject matter, launched me into international fame. Halloween, when this all broke, I came up with that priest costume with the child attached to the waist.
Did you
That
really?
was
Yeah,
a big winner.
that was me. I was the first one to ever build that damn thing. Now they're selling it in stores, and it went viral. Every year, it's always like there's a picture of me. And I'm like, that's the one thing. I'm internationally known for being that guy.
And I told him I can't believe, because he went in, it wasn't like a bookstore or something in Pasadena, wherever you went, and you got your
Yeah.
priest shirt. It's
Yeah,
like, people shouldn't be allowed to just go in and buy a priest shirt, and especially him. He's the devil incarnate. Then burst into flames. And
That's
he's
a
like,
great point. It's the same thing I feel about like army surplus stores. It's like you got to earn wearing camouflage. You know, all you Silver Lake hipsters, take off the camouflage.
Luckily, the girl working there was a young lady, and she probably had some Thornbirds fantasies. And so I was like, hey, I'm a young priest. Getting my shirt for school.
I remember the first time we met you, you showed me a picture of that.
Yeah.
Well,
he's
that wasn't the
very proud
picture.
of it. No,
It's in my wallet.
was an
still.
actual
that was no
child.
doll. That was no doll.
You may know me from my Halloween costume, circa
It's
got a collar too.
4, maybe 3.
maybe 2000, maybe. It was early.
This
It was
was in
Koreatown. That was
2001.
Koreatown.
Yeah, that was the year I tried to dress as a dominatrix, but I ended up looking like China the wrestler. It did not go well for the kid that year. I was like, what? They're
And
like,
go
"You're
to
supposed
HeidiandFrank.com to see the picture.
You're right.
Yeah, Halloween is coming up this weekend. You guys have your costumes already picked out?
I have multiple costumes. I've never worn costumes before.
Do you go with movie-based stuff because you guys?
Well,
are Schmoes?
today, the thing is, we have our Halloween kind of episode on for Schmoes tonight, and we're playing in our trivia contest that we have. So we have a special kind of outfit prepared for our entrance that'll kind of serve as our Halloween costume.
Yeah, prepared being the key word. And then we're at Kamikaze this weekend, the
Right.
LA
Oh, yeah.
comic book convention, and me and the nonfiction girlfriend are going to be walking around on Saturday, and we'll both be in a costume from a movie. So
Is it a costume that do they go together? Is it a couple's costume?
It is, but it'd be weird.
Oh,
like
it's getting
if
serious.
you just looked at these two movie characters, you're like, oh, they're sleeping together. That should stop immediately.
Oh, interesting.
Well, speaking of Kamikaze, also Heidi and Frank listeners as well, too. We're going to be there on Sunday. Mark and I have a panel from 1 o'clock to 3. We're doing a full Schmoes Know show from 1 to 3 p.m. at Kamikaze.
Anybody can go?
Yeah, you should come.
Where is it again?
At the L.A. Convention Center.
LA Convention Center, 1 to 3.
1 to 3.
It's open to the public, but if you're a priest, then you bring a kid with you.
You're
There you
out.
go.
You're out.
Spotlight's on you.
Mark Ruffalo's in Spotlight as well, and he's doing the tour, obviously, the press tour for this movie. And people keep asking him about the Thor Ragnarok coming up, where Thor and Hulk are going to be together.
It's like a buddy movie, yeah.
Yeah, he's saying it's a buddy flick.
It's a road trip flick.
I think that when you hear that, you're like, wait a minute, is he trying to do a Lethal Weapon movie with a Hulk and Thor? But when you look at what they did in the first Avengers and where their relationship has kind of gone to, like, it's not going to be your Nick Nolte, Eddie Murphy movie. It's gonna.
I hope it is.
Oh my God, that'd be great.
I hope it's yet another 48 hours.
And they have a little girl with them. That'd be awesome. What movie was that?
Curly Sue?
Was it
3 Men and a Baby?
No,
No,
you think
Top
with
and a
Martin
Half?
Short?
No, I was thinking Martin Short and Nick Nolte and the little girl.
I thought you were just saying Martin Short.
Pure Luck? That was Martin Short and Danny Glover.
Pure luck doing his face
damn
blows up.
it.
He gets all
They're just Schmoes people. What was the name of that damn movie?
with the little girl, Matilda. Matilda.
No,
Matilda.
There is a movie called Matilda.
Wasn't
That is
Orphan?
not it.
No, it wasn't
Not
Orphan.
Indiana Jones?
Three
Now
fugitives. Three fugitives.
Oh,
Three Amigos.
I got to check that Three
You haven't
Fugitives
seen
out.
it?
No, I don't think so. No.
There's a great
Schmoes
scene.
do not know this one.
No.
Yeah,
I love how
my recommendation.
I love how you
Thumbs
said
up.
it like we missed Gravity or something.
We missed Three
You haven't
Fugitives.
seen it?
Three Fugitives. That is a good one.
Yeah, they say this Thor Ragnarok's going to be a buddy flick. Last time we saw Hulk, he was flying off in that cloaked jet to undisclosed. So how in the hell does he get on Thor's universe?
Well, that's the thing. It's like it's not that hard to go up to Asgard. Like there's like a teleportation thing somewhere you can grab and hop up to Asgard. But once you're in Asgard, Ragnarok is also going to go to some other distant planet. It's not a Guardians of the Galaxy planet. They might tie those movies in eventually. I don't think it's going to happen too much in Ragnarok. Maybe post-credit scene. But Hulk is one of the few guys that can actually like survive and play ball in outer space.
Yeah, and there was a comic line called Planet Hulk, and they might. I think they may combine elements. Maybe they won't, but it would make sense. And I think that from where that universe, the Marvel universe, has gone, it's not as crazy if they would have just right after Hulk gone, oh, now he's in space. They've opened it up that space is, even with Guardians of the Galaxy, that exists in that universe.
They say that they'll probably end up fighting. Everybody wants to see Thor and Hulk fight.
Each other?
That would be. They're going
I'm
to.
done with them fighting.
I mean,
gonna
yeah,
know that
Hulk
they're-
and Iron Man
fought.
fought.
Now
Now
they're gonna fight in
Thor's
Civil
gonna
War.
fight.
I don't need
Well,
him to
Hulk,
fight.
there's rumors that Hulk might not be in Civil War at all. Like we don't know if Mark Ruffalo is going to show up in Civil War, but we definitely know he's showing up in Ragnarok, which means that like if they're going to a distant planet, like it's not going to be a main fight, but like they might like one of them wants to pull over and pee, and the other one's like, no, we got to keep going.
And they beat the crap out like they did in the first
agreement.
Avengers.
No,
Yeah.
Ruffalo's
Yes,
like that
yes.
drunk friend. He's like, he has a couple beers and he wants to fight somebody, and you got to get him out of there.
And he wakes up and says, I'm so sorry, dude.
Yeah, I'm
so
sorry. I love you, man. I love you
Yeah,
too,
yeah,
man.
yeah.
And
I
then they move on
apologize.
to
You know
Put
how I
on Three
get.
Fugitives and make up.
and that does heal relationships. You need to watch it together, fellas. All right, the Schmoes, go to their website, schmoesknow.com, and be sure and subscribe to their YouTube channel, Schmoes Know. Mark and Christian, always fun to hang out.
And my Instagram, and come look at my turkey burgers.
What is your Instagram, so people will?
At Christian Harlow.
At Christian Harloff
Christian with a K.
with
Yes,
a K.
yes.
All right.
Enjoy the Blue Apron.
When we come back, Josh, the sports guru is going to come in here and give you your lock of the week in the NFL. So stick around. We're Heidi and Frank.
Back to more of the Heidi and Frank Show next on the Rock of Southern California.